Hello, parents and students around the world. Welcome to Cindy's Corner. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe. And I'd like to hear your comments as well. You know, at Cindy's Corner, we talk about math, so let's get right to it. Today, we're going to talk about mixed fractions. What is a mixed fraction? A mixed fraction is a number. It's a whole number and a fraction. Mixed fractions contains a whole number and a fraction. To illustrate it, mixed XED mixed fraction. We are going to discuss a mixed fraction today. Mixed fraction. To illustrate it, we'll have 2 and 1 more. We'll have 3 circles or 3 pies. A mixed fraction, we're going to say, is 2 and 2/3. A mixed fraction is a whole number and a fraction. 2, 3. 3 circles. If I take one circle and divide it into 3 parts, I have 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. If someone comes along, if these are, let's say, apple pies. Someone comes along and takes 1/3 of this apple pie. How many pies are left? 2 and 2/3. 1, 2, and 2/3. Mixed fraction. Let's do another illustration. A mixed fraction, we said, contains a whole number and a fraction. We have 2 square pizzas. When the pizzas were delivered, they were pre-cut into 6 pieces. Someone comes along and takes a nice piece of one of the pizzas. How many are left? How much of the pizza is left? 1 whole pizza. And 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Why is 6 on the bottom? Because the pizza was pre-cut into 6 pieces. 1 was removed. 1 and 5/6 of the pizza is left. A mixed fraction contains a whole number and a fraction. A square. A square divided into 4 parts. A square divided into 4 parts. If I put 2 red dots in one of the squares, the question is, how many squares are left without red dots in them? 1 whole square and 3/4 are left without red dots in them. Mixed fraction. Now, sometimes we can convert a mixed fraction, which is usually the next step in math, to an improper fraction. How do we do that? A mixed fraction is a whole number and a fraction. We're going to add another fraction. How do we add 4 and 1/8 plus 1/8? How do we add that? 4 and 1/8. In adding the denominator, which we know in fractions, the top number is the numerator, the bottom number is the denominator. The denominator stays the same. equals 4 and 2/8. Four and 1/8 plus 1/8 equals 4 and 2/8. Now, this is a mixed fraction. How do we change this into an improper fraction? So we know that 4 and 1/8 plus 1/8 is 4 and 2/8. We want to change it into something called an improper fraction. This is usually done to multiply or bring math and fractions to the next level. So 4 and 2/8. How do we change that into an improper fraction? We're going to make it so that it's all fraction. All fraction is an improper fraction. 4 times the denominator is 32 plus the numerator. So that will give you 34 over 8. 34 over 8 is the improper fraction. Alright, let's make sense of it with an illustration. We'll use the previous illustration we had of the pizzas or the squares. We'll use it with the squares. This square was divided into 4 parts. This square is divided into 4 parts. Someone came along and color one part purple. How many are not colored purple? How many are not colored purple? 1 and 3/4. If you wanted to change that 1 and 3/4 to an improper fraction, and the question is, how much of those two squares are not colored purple? But they want the answer in an improper fraction, not a mixed fraction. This is a mixed fraction. So you're going to multiply, so it has the same value. 1 times 4, you're going to add 3. You're going to have 1 times 4, you're going to add 3. This will give you 7/4. Because when you are converting from a mixed fraction to an improper fraction, which is all fraction, you're going to multiply the denominator and add the numerator. 1 times 4 is 4, plus 3 is 7. So the question was, how many pieces, how much of the two squares are not colored purple? And I want the answer in an improper fraction. The answer is 7/4. Illustrated. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5, 6, 7. 7/4 of the square. 7/4 of this mixed fraction. 7/4 of it was not colored purple. We changed the mixed fraction into an improper fraction. They both have the same value. 1 and 3/4, 1 whole square and 3/4, or 7/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are not colored purple. Let's illustrate again. Converting mixed fractions to improper fractions. The first mixed fraction was 1 pi was divided into 3 parts. Someone came along and took a piece of pie. That gave us a mixed fraction of 2 and 2/3. How do we convert 2 and 2/3? How much of the 3 pies How much was left? How much was not taken? 2 2/3 were not taken. 1, 2, and 2/3. How do we change that to an improper fraction? 2 times the denominator is 6, plus 2 the numerator is 8 over 3. The denominator stays the same. How many pieces were not taken? Well, we're talking about improper fractions, so all 3 pies are divided into 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7/8 were not taken. 2 2/3, 1 whole pie with 2 whole pies. 2/3 of a pie is the mixed fraction. If you were told that you wanted that the answer in an improper fraction, you will convert it this way. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 2 is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 were not taken. So mixed fraction, number 1. Just a quick review, and then we'll be finished. Thank you so much for coming to Cindy's Corner. We have a fraction. First thing we have is a fraction. Fraction is part of a whole. If I color one part of this pie, how much did I color? 1/3 of it. That's the fraction. A mixed fraction is a whole number. A mixed fraction contains a whole number and a fraction. That would have been 2 whole pies and the 2/3 which were not taken. How do we convert a mixed fraction to an improper fraction? We multiply by the denominator, which is 6, and we add the numerator. 8/3 were not taken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Improper fraction. Quick review of fractions, mixed fractions, and improper fractions. Thank you for coming to Cindy's Corner. Like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. And leave a comment if you like. Thank you for coming to Cindy's Corner.